From the theme park capital of the world, Orlando, Florida, this is the Theme Park Podcast. Wait, podcast? Is this on the radio? Why does everything gotta be so messy on this station? Anyway, here's your hosts, Dickerman, Jimmy D, and Scott Harris.
Hey there, and welcome to the Theme Park Podcast. Dickerman here. There is Jimmy D.
Good day, gentlemen.
And the man who has just recently returned from an epic adventure, Mr. Scott Harris.
What's going on? Happy spooky season, everyone.
It's
No,
not
this
spooky
is not
season.
spooky season. This
What do you?
is
No. What do you?
epic
What do you mean?
season.
No. Clown in a Cornfield comes out this week in theaters. Next week is Final Destination: Bloodlines. What are you talking about? It isn't spooky season.
Jimmy, I thought since this guy just went to Epic Universe, he would understand that this is epic season. It's not spooky season yet. It's a different theme for 2025.
Oh, you mean where I got to hang out with the bride, or where I got to hang out with the Invisible Man?
Dickerman,
Let's-
well, first of all, I'm admiring my mustache on the stream, and it looks really good. Not great for radio, but what I wanted to say, Dickerman, is he's kind of right. I mean, like he just named off all those movies that he just talked about, and then what's the biggest movie in the world right now? Sinners,
So that I enjoyed that. It was a good movie.
and it's a horror
Fun.
movie.
Yeah, see,
I can see it.
I'm right. I'm right.
In Central Florida, it is epic season. I'm sticking with it. I'm not gonna stop, and I just want to get into it because finally a member of this show was the last one in the state of Florida to go to Epic Universe.
No, that
Scott
would be you.
Harris.
I mean, anyone can go. Anyone is able to buy preview tickets now. Like, if you wanted to go, you can buy tickets.
Annual pass holders or just regular folk?
Anyone.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna base my decision solely on your view you're about to share with us right now. We need to just dive into it if you don't mind. I want to know
What do
all
you want
about
to
it.
know? How do you want to do
Firsthand
it?
experience.
Do you want to ask me?
chronologically. I want to start with how your day began, your first steps into the theme park, the whole shebang.
All right, that's two different things. Because chronologically, I woke up at 8:25 that morning. I made breakfast. I got
No, I don't care about any of
dressed.
that. Now let's talk about the theme park.
yeah.
Let's talk about
Skip forward 30
your
seconds.
initial impressions. You scan your ticket, you walk inside.
Well, first of all, I will say, parking lot is it gave me old Universal Studios vibes
Really?
because it's just a parking lot. It is not a parking structure.
I didn't even know they had their own parking lot.
Where do you
Which-
think people are going to park?
I thought they were going to shuttle you from City Walk. Genuinely,
No!
I'm so out of the loop on this.
Are you whacked? They
We
already
talked
have
about
like
the names of the sections.
yeah.
You
That,
guys-
that was like a whole like segment on the show. A and B.
You.
Those parking garages are already full with the 3 parks that they have on that side of I-4.
Mhm.
Well, I'm happy about this. Now, in 2 weeks, when we discuss this again, I'm like, holy crap, there's a parking lot there. I'm going to be so excited.
Well, I will say, getting there was a new experience because it's like I'm gonna have to put this into like GPS because it's like I've never driven to this place before, and I'm going on new roads that didn't exist. So,
It's true. Epic. It's like Epic Lane or something like that. We drove by it one day. I'm like, oh my God, there it is.
so it's like I'm really trusting Waze that to be completely accurate because I want to get there.
Yeah.
But I was parked in Dragon 407, which easy to remember because there's one of the things.
But they charge you for that parking.
Well, I'm an annual pass holder, so I didn't pay for anything.
Ah, okay. Well, that's good to know that annual pass holder.
I'm going to need a
Parking
ride to
thing,
the park on whatever
yeah.
day I go, Scott. Okay. I'm going to need a ride.
Okay. All right. Just to leave the car running and music on that I like, so I don't pass out in the car.
All right, fine. Fair enough. I mean, you can leave if you want. Just come back and pick me up when I'm done. That's fine too.
But you walk up and had to go over to guest services to get a thing taken care of. Actually, no, I will say it was raining on Sunday when I went, so it was a little bit of all right. Let's wait for this thunderstorm, which we hadn't had in months to get over
I know
with.
the one thunderstorm we get, and we haven't had one in like 4 months. That you get on your Epic Universe day.
Which is fine. I mean, we got there early anyways. The park opened at 11 when we were there. We arrived at 10 o'clock. So we factored a lot of this into account. And I will say the wait for guest services meant that the turnstile entrance gate was done by the time we were done with what we needed taken care of. So after that, walk right in. And it is truly awe-inspiring. The tower, the Kronos Tower, is huge. All of it is huge. All of these things are massive. Like it, you look at the aerial pictures and you're like, well, I've been to Universal, I've been to Islands of Adventure. It's like it feels completely different than that.
And did it feel like you entered like we've talked about before with these worlds? Did it feel like you've kind of left like where you were and entered into a whole new world?
Yes. And the biggest thing was, it's when you walk in, it's very much like it kind of guides you over to the left, which is Super Nintendo Land. Mm-hmm. You can go to the right, but it just seems a little bit easier, just kind of the way things are laid out a little bit. So it's like, all right, let's go over to Super Nintendo Land, and you walk into the green tunnel, into the pipe.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't want to do that right when you enter
the sound? Tell me
it makes the sound as you're going through it.
Yes.
And there's lights. It's actually an escalator, because the way that land is situated, it's very much like in a bowl. So when you walk in, you're on the second level. It's like when you go to the Altamont Mall and you go in through certain sections and you're like, oh, I'm on the second floor.
Yeah.
So that is how it is. And you walk in there and you literally feel like you've walked into a video game. You see nothing else around. You see nothing else except all of these Mario characters moving. The music is on point. It changes around a little bit. So sometimes it's from like Super Mario. Sometimes it's from Super Mario 64. It just it slowly transitions between different games. And you walk around, there's blocks that you can hit and you'll get points if you have a power band. There's just so much stuff going on. There's like binoculars that you can. Yes.
What power band did you get?
I didn't get a power band. When I go back, I'm going to get. This whole trip was just, I'm going to try to do as much as I can while it is still a little bit of a reduced capacity. Because during these previews, it is reduced capacity. When I go back on the 19th, it'll be a little bit more, and when I go back in June, it will be a lot more people, because that is when the park is officially opened. So it was very much like let's try to cram in as many things as we possibly can. Got in. The Yoshi ride was a 5-minute wait. Boom, let's go do that right now.
Wow.
And that is very much like a people mover ride. Like you're just kind of it just goes at a constant pace. Like kind of like Figment or any of these like dark rides, but it's like indoor, outdoor. All of the animatronics look real, and I know that's weird to say for video game characters.
Right.
But it was awesome. It was amazing. And then went and got some food at there's a Yoshi stand right next to the entrance of Yoshi's ride, and got a little calzone that looks like the red shell from Mario Kart.
Okay.
Delicious.
How was it? Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it was good. It was the perfect snack for the start of the day.
That's what I really
inside
wanted
that calzone. Cheese. Was there meat?
There was a sausage in there inside of it as well.
That's perfect. It's a great calzone right there.
Then you walk into we walked into a couple of stores, and it was just like, this is going to be very bad for my bank account. After that, walked to the back of Super Nintendo, saw the Donkey Kong ride. At the time that we went back there, it was not open. Because it is still a technical preview. Not everything is going to be open. It did open up later on in the day. But when we kept looking, it was like either 2 hours or 100 minutes. So it was just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make this work. Went back into the main area, went upstairs, saw where the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge ride is. And it's like, that alone looks as big as the pipe that you walk through the portal.
Okay.
And it's Bowser's face.
Cool.
Up on the second deck, they have a bunch of like binocular things, like, oh, that's cool, I can look across the thing. And then you look through it, and it's an augmented reality experience.
Really?
So you're looking through it, and you can see you can see people on the other side, but you can also see flying shells and stuff go by.
Well, that's awesome.
Did eventually go do Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, because I think it was like a 45-minute wait. When we were about halfway through the line, it jumped up to 100 minutes. I think in total we waited about 60, so we kind of got the in between of that. That ride is amazing. It's like the super version of, you know, the Buzz Lightyears, the Men in Blacks, those kind of shoot 'em up rides.
2025 upgrade. Yeah, I mean, think about how technology's advanced since those rides were made and where we've come to now.
Yeah, and it was, you know, you get you walk through the queue, and it's very immersive, where it's just like you're in Bowser's castle. You're seeing like all sorts of stuff, like racing suits and Bowser's self-help books and all sorts of things like that. You see his throne, which is obviously massive. Then you walk a little bit further in, and you see like an assembly line making like bombs and stuff like that. And it's super cool. I wish I could own like a giant bomb to have like standing next to me, because it was like 3 feet tall. And it's you know, you get the Mario hat. Yes.
Did Bowser speak at all while you were in the castle, and was it Jack Black's voice?
No, there was nothing like that inside.
You were saying Mario hat.
So you get the hat, which you have to like tighten onto your head, and that is what clicks on. That's what the AR goggles click onto. Okay. The augmented reality. So the car itself is for 4 people. So there's 2 and 2. And so you steer your car, but then like when you get in the car, you have to like pick up the headset to click on to your hat.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of like a tutorial before you get on the ride, and on once you first start, to kind of like, okay, this is what the experience is like. And it's very much where you look, and when you hit the buttons, that's where it's going to fire the shells.
Oh,
so
awesome.
You're looking, there's all sorts of stuff happening in the foreground and right in front of you on the glass. It's very immersive. It is kind of like a technological achievement.
Now, as you're there in the Super Nintendo land, and knowing that you want to experience the entire park, and you're trying to get in as much as you can that day, were you like, I want to see so much more, but I know I can't stay?
Yeah, and luckily, you know, the park was open until 9, so it was like we had, you know, 10 hours inside of this park. So did that. I think I got 133 coins, which was the second highest in my car. So that was really good. I was really proud of myself with that performance. Went over to the Dark Universe. And that's, you know, Universal Monsters. The Monsters Unchained, I think, was an hour-long wait. And we waited about 45 minutes. And it had single rider, but it's like, no, I want to do the full queue because I want to get the full experience.
Of course, yeah.
And at least the first time. And that ride it's my favorite ride that I've done at Epic Universe. It is Forbidden Journey on steroids. It is the same kind of ride mechanism. The animatronics are the most lifelike things I've ever seen. There is one scene where you're looking at the Wolfman, and he's like crawling around, and it's all done in one continuous thing. Like where he starts and ends up, you're moving around him. I don't know how they pull it off.
That's some of the things they've done with both those Harry Potter rides that already exist. You know, it's so mind-blowing, and to see what they can come up with next, like what you just mentioned right there, it's magic.
It was amazing, and you know, I would love to go back and do it again. They have a second ride there, Curse of the Werewolf, which is, we thought it was like, oh, this is Flight of the Hippogriff, this is Troller Coaster, this is one of like, you know, an all ages roller coaster. First of all, we did this the last thing that we did at 9 o'clock, so it was dark. And we start going, I'm like, oh no, this is a spinning coaster.
Okay.
We were not prepared for that at all. And so we're like spinning. It's dark. We have no idea where we're going. The car in front of us was spinning a lot more than we were. All of a sudden, there is a werewolf that is starting to attack us. And then we look in the back, and then the windmill is like on fire because it's that time of night where that starts. So it's like, what is going on right now?
That sounds like a
That must
wonderful
look awesome.
experience.
But it was awesome. I will say the street atmosphere in this park is amazing. You know, you in Super Nintendo they kind of have photo meet and greets with the characters, but in like the Dark Universe, they're kind of just around. So like I got the picture with the Invisible Man, my guy. He's just kind of walking around. Granted, he has like an attendant with him, kind of supervising. And then so it's like he just will kind of start talking to people and mocking them. Which he did to me. And then they have people playing violins, playing music from these classic monster movies around the park, or around that section of the park in that portal.
That's cool.
So that was really fun. Went and got a picture with the bride because she was just out. And again, kind of intimidating experience because because I was wearing a Monster Squad t-shirt and she was like, I don't like the person that's on your shirt. I'm like, well, I can't do anything about that. Like, well, she doesn't like Dracula. So I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Would you just like want me to swap it out? I'll go pick up one of your shirts in the gift shop.
I will go buy 17 shirts. They had a section of Creature from the Black Lagoon merchandise.
I know you sent us a picture of you wearing a helmet and I was like, he looks like Cobra Commander.
You can get a helmet, you can get gloves, and you can get little footies.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
When I go back, it's going to be very bad for my bank account. Went over to How to Train Your Dragon to get food. We got some bowls at one point, which were pretty good. And then they had, this is going to be bad for you. It's basically a cone of garlic bread.
Okay.
Hollowed out.
Mhm.
With the one that we got, mac and cheese,
Okay.
pork belly.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
The other one was mac and cheese and goldfish.
That's an interesting choice too.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
think
go
the
back.
pork
and get
belly's
that
the way
one.
to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it was very good.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm going to need some Pepsid and my blood pressure medicine.
And I saw the wait to get a picture with Toothless was about an hour.
Okay, and this isn't the one that's a Boston Dynamics dog, right? That's
No,
the
no,
one.
no. This is the meet and greet one where he's
Like a
like
pup.
he
Right,
smiles
right,
a lot.
right.
Yeah. There is another
Right.
one we saw. We assumed he saw him come out because there was a crowd of people.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I did confirm it's not just for a stage show. The Boston Dynamics dog walks around the park.
correct.
What? Okay, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Saw some of they have a couple of flying. They have a flying ride and kind of a kids coaster, which is very reminiscent of Seven Dwarfs over there.
Okay.
In addition to the show, we didn't do any of that. Did do the Stardust Racers 3 times.
Everybody tells me this is the greatest thing around. What's your thought?
Okay, first of all, imagine if Dueling Dragons and Velocicoaster had twins.
That sounds insane.
And this is the most efficient roller coaster, even more so than Velocicoaster.
Really?
I believe the way I read it is it could have 4 cars going at one time, 2 and 2.
And how many seats per row? Is it
It's
two or
two
is
and
it two-seater?
it's 2.
Okay.
We waited the first time 35 minutes. I think it was under that. The next 2 times 25 minutes. And you have a choice, green or yellow. I think green is a little bit more intense than yellow, but this is a true dueling ride. It has 4 launches. It was amazing. It is so good.
Now, as I recall, they made changes years ago to Dueling Dragons because I don't remember what the issues were, but they had to like make some changes. So I imagine all those thoughts were considered when they made a new dueling coaster here.
Well, what they did was they have the same kind of locker system as Velocicoaster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So everything comes out.
Everything comes out, and it happens midway through the queue, just like Velocicoaster.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
that
it is a very efficient system.
Yeah, that is the way to do it. I think whoever came up with that setup, as far as using that sort of locker system, no, they're not making $5 every time you use a locker, but it makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more efficient, and it's better for the consumer.
Now, Ministry of Magic was open when we were there. It did not open until 3:00. This is a ride that is only on virtual queue right now. And I will say, just a pro tip, it is closed for the upcoming week while they try to get it ready for opening day. We tried to get a virtual queue at 3 and 6:00. We were unsuccessful both times.
Now, you talked about this being a limited capacity. I don't want to get too far off what you're talking about here, but how crowded did it feel to you?
It only felt crowded because, sometimes rides break down and, waves happen. They only have it's a new park. There's only so many rides. Like I said, Donkey Kong was like a 2-hour wait at one point. Other rides were like 100 minutes. So, I mean, Bowser's Challenge like the Mario Kart got up to about 100 minutes as well. So it never felt crowded, but it was just like, sometimes it did feel busy.
And what day did you go on again?
I went on a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, well, he went on May the 4th.
I went on May the 4th.
Okay.
I did order a butterbeer crepe.
Okay.
This was the only real problem. This is the only kind of like I was disappointed part, not in the food, but it's only sold at a restaurant where you have to get a table. It's not just you walk up to a stand or a cart. It's nothing like that.
Grab and go. Yeah.
It took me 40 minutes to get it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a little rough.
Was that from the day of the moment you crossed the threshold, or from like you sat down and ordered and it took 40 minutes to come to the table?
It took 40 minutes from when I got in the line to enter the restaurant because I had to wait 10 to 15 minutes just to get a table.
Oh boy, yeah, it's rough.
So,
especially on a day when you're trying to cram so much in.
Exactly. The person I was with, she went to the other Harry Potter restaurant, got her food, ate, and then came to my table and still waited 20 minutes with me to get my crepe.
You're still here waiting for your crepe, huh, buddy? Okay.
I will say though, greatest thing of this, it is my new favorite butterbeer item.
Okay.
Butterbeer whipped cream and a butterbeer drizzle.
I'm gonna have to say that was 40 minutes well spent then. If it was that,
it was. It's just when we're trying to cram a bunch of stuff in.
I know the last thing you want to do is wait around.
Exactly for a dessert. And I know it's a preview. I know things are like they're just. It is what it is. After we did everything around when the park closed, we were like, let's just see if we can go into Nintendo Land just to like look around. And there was only like 8 other people in that area before they really start like herding people out.
Right.
It's amazing. It is so cool. And anytime you're really in any of these portals, you never feel like you never really see anything else. When you're on Stardust Racers, you're going around, you can see the outside world, but that's a little bit different. When you're in France, where the Harry Potter thing is, you feel like you're in France. They built a city block inside of there.
I can't wait to see this.
And it was amazing. It was truly, you start getting emotional when you go into some of these lands. Like you go into the bathrooms in Nintendo Land, and they're playing the underwater music from the game.
That's great.
Scott,
go ahead.
How much money did you leave behind?
I only bought food. So I think in total about like $75.
So there was no souvenirs or like
no, there was. It's just like at the end, we didn't want to carry things, and at the end of the night, the store was such like chaos, and it's like I know I'm going to go back, so I'll do my shopping then.
On your return, is there something you would do differently as far as trying to achieve something like say? Try to get that virtual queue for Ministry of Magic. Is there a strategy you want to shoot for?
There's other restaurant. I want to try to eat at the Toad Cafe, which is kind of like the big thing that we went in there. It was really cool. I'd like to eat there's just a bunch of the other restaurants and to do the rides at How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't do any of those.
Right.
And get
a power band.
For everybody out there, is there any pro tips as far as getting a virtual queue for Ministry of Magic, or it's just the luck of the draw?
Set an alarm 5 minutes before they say, because it isn't a true accurate time.
Oh,
it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. And I think it's like 11, 1, 3, and 6.
So just keep firing away at your phone, trying to get it.
Correct. And if you're going to the party, have everyone try.
Yes,
that's the key. Yeah, not just one person. Everybody has to try.
And actually, the real pro tip I will say, I struggle with motion sickness. I've talked about this on the podcast. I take Dramamine. Sometimes it doesn't work. I tried ginger gum. Game changer.
Really?
Never had a single issue.
Okay, ginger gum. That's not a bad one. I've done gin-gins too. They're like a candy. You can buy like a Walmart. Those are pretty good too. So yeah, keep those things in mind as far as riding roller coasters all day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just about out of time. We just spent the entire show with our first full review of Epic Universe. Scott, you're going to go back next in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have another review too.
Yep.
All right.
The 19th.
If you want to get all the latest breaking theme park news, Scott, where can people go?
You follow us on Twitter at Theme Park Show, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at the Theme Park Podcast. You can watch it at themeparkyoutube.com.
And the show traditionally comes to you live from the Lauren Campbell Realtor.com Tebow Gazebo Studios. For Jimmy D, for Scott Harris, I am Dickerman. Until next week, we will see you out at the parks.
This has been the Theme Park Podcast. Follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at the Theme Park Podcast. To catch up on previous episodes, check out the themeparkpodcast.com, the iHeartRadio app, or Apple Podcasts.